Everybody was buzzing this week after the governor announced his plan to raise beginner teacher salaries. Everybody, that is, except for existing teachers. You'd think we'd be celebrating. After all, the state hasn't offered to fund our raises in 7 years. Since Rick Scott proposed a $2,500 raise, which actually turned out to be much less after all the fine print. And then you factor in the 3% pension tax, and we ended up in the red. So you'll forgive us if we have questions, like if it's so doable as the governor suggested during a press conference, why didn't he do it 10 months ago? During the legislative session, when the state was swimming in new revenue. Maybe it has something to do with all the headlines this week concerning his relationship with those shady Ukrainian businessmen who were arrested attempting to flee the country. We have questions about how it would affect experienced teachers, those with 15 and 20 and 30 years in the classroom, or counselors and media specialists who are required to hold valid Florida teaching certificates. And does the governor even have the authority? We thought teacher salaries were negotiated during collective bargaining. Please ask education policymakers like Senate Education Chair Manny Diaz Jr. and House Education Chair Jennifer Sullivan, who, when for years teachers asked for raises, not bonuses, repeatedly said that the legislature cannot set salary. How can Tallahassee mandate salary now? House Speaker Jose Oliva expressed his surprise when he tweeted that the governor already has $2 billion in new proposals and that the legislature has to set its priorities. You see, projected revenue in the coming year is actually down, despite all those promises that years of billion-dollar tax cuts for corporations were going to grow the state economy. And honestly, we just don't trust that those career politicians who've been playing musical chairs in Tallahassee for over a decade, like Education Commissioner Dick Corcoran, are finally gonna see the light and actually support the work that we do in the classroom. These politicians have been using the K-12 budget as a personal slush fund for their charter school businesses at home and are unlikely to change anytime in the near future. So you'll understand when we say, we'll believe it when we see it in our paychecks. If you found this information helpful, share it with a friend, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button.